Saw a video last week that talked about how Pharrell and Drake got beef. And I'm just like, why would anyone have beef with Pharrell? Pharrell seems like the nicest guy ever. And I watched it and I was just like, man, I miss when rap beefs were fun. So today, I want to share with y'all my favorite beefs, my favorite rap beefs, and why they're important. But I tell y'all, I'm an old head when it comes to hip hop. I mean it. I had no idea that Drake was beefing with Kendrick Lamar. And I had no idea that Quavo was beefing with Chris Brown. And I also didn't know that producers were allowed to beef with the artists that they actually make beats for. But let's be real. Metro Boomin did his thing with BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy. The reason why rap beefs are important is very, very simple. It sparks creativity. You can't just talk about what you've been talking about. Someone has obviously called you out on what you've been talking about in your rhymes right now. You know, so you gotta retaliate, but you can't retaliate with the shit you've been saying so far, because that's what you got called out on, and that's what you gotta get creative with it. You have to get slick with it. You know, you have to come in with the punchline. That's why it's called the punchline, because it's just so. One of my favorite rap beefs of all time is probably like historic, Tupac and Biggie. It's literally how I got into hip hop. I got into hip hop because someone told me about Pac, and I was like, I like Pac, and then someone told me about Biggie, and then I was like, who is Biggie? And like, they were like, oh, Biggie killed Pac. And I was like, what? And then like, that's how I started getting into it. And how I landed on my first conspiracy theory ever. Someone sent me, I don't know if you guys remember bulletin boards on MySpace, but someone sent me a bulletin board about how Pac was still alive. And it was just a whole bunch of evidence proving why Pac was still alive. But yeah, Pac and Biggie was one of my favorites. It's literally what got me into hip hop. And it got me into like lyricism. When I was a kid, I didn't care for Jay-Z and Nas, but I recently listened to Ether for real, and I was like, Nas definitely won this. Nas, I don't understand why, I don't know what it is. Call me a hater. You can call me a hater, it's fine. I love being petty. Y'all know I love being petty, and I love being a hater. I love being biased. But growing up, like, I had mad admiration for Jay-Z, and I was like, I love Jay-Z. I love listening to Jay-Z. And I'm not trying to be biased. We're not going to talk about all the shit that he's going through right now with, like, the lawsuits and Diddy. We're not going to talk about that. But it's just been over the years, ever since he retired and came back, I was just like, you said you're going to retire. You didn't stick to your word. And, like, to me, it always feels like when you say you're going to do something, you don't do it. Like, I can't believe you anymore. Everything you say, it kind of starts to, like, bounce back. You know? It's just, I don't know, like, going back to listen to music that I haven't heard in years. And one thing about music, the thing that differentiated artists throughout the years is the playability of your music. Like, if you drop an album and every track on the album is fire, that's how you know you're a good artist. That's how you know you're a good singer, you're a good rapper, you know? And I remember, like, when I got back into music production, I was like, I need to study the classics. I need to revise my strategy, just like the game. I need to focus on, like, getting better at writing lyrics, getting better at freestyling, getting better at rapping itself. And I was like, who are the people that you look up to? Who are the artists that I'm listening to? What are the songs that I like? So I was like, I like these, I like this, I like this. And I was like, okay, well, let me expand on that, because there has to be more that they're saying. So obviously, I went after the classics, what I've always listened to. I went back on Pac. I've always liked Pac, you know. I went back on Biggie. There was some stuff I liked from Biggie. There's a lot of stuff I didn't like from Biggie. And then Jay-Z, I was really surprised that I was like, I really don't like a lot of Jay-Z as much as I thought I did. And all the Jay-Z stuff I like is mostly produced by Kanye, which got me thinking that what I like is the producer themselves. Like, as far as Jay's discography that I'm actually a fan of, it's stuff produced by Pharrell, and it's stuff produced by Kanye. A lot of the other stuff I'm not really big on, so I'm just like, I think what I was after was the production value. And then on the other side, I went back to listening to Nas's discography, and I was like, yo, Nas got fire, and these beats are fucking dope. I love the production, and I love the fucking bars. And I was like, Nas definitely got this one in the bag. Like, holy shit. And then everyone always talks about how Eminem jumped on Renegade and he killed it, and he did absolutely killed it. He absolutely killed it. I can't remember a single word Jay-Z said in Renegade, but I remember everything M said in Renegade. Now, my favorite rap beef of all time is Eminem and Benzino. And while we're at it, Eminem and Ja Rule. And while we're at it, I think it's just Eminem. No, but seriously though, Eminem and Benzino Eminem and Nick Cannon, because Nail in the Coffin, amazing. And not only just Nail in the Coffin, but what was it that he dropped the diss track against Nick Cannon? The Warning. Loved it. But yeah, those are my favorite rap beefs. Jay-Z and 50 was just really funny. It felt like 50 came out of nowhere and he was like, hey, why aren't we bullying Ja Rule? And I feel like we were all like, hey, you're right, we should be picking on Ja Rule. And then we all just started picking on Ja Rule. Like, it really felt at one point like we were all like close with Ja Rule like that. But yeah, those are my favorite rap beefs of all time right now. As far as the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, it doesn't really count as beef. If we all know that Kendrick Lamar writes his bars, you know, he spits from up here, and Drake, he gets them from his BlackBerry in Canada or whatever he does. You know what I'm saying? And then this lawsuit he got going on. You can't sue someone. Like, it literally sounds like you're snitching. Like, you know when you're playing a game and then you lose and you go tell your mom that they stole your ball? That's what it sounds like, Drake. Get it together and write better bars. That's it. Like, if this is what you do for a living, just do it better, right? That's all I got for y'all today. Later.